So, good evening, everyone. So, welcome to the Innovation Birmingham campus and this launch event for the Climate KIC. And that obviously isn't working, so I'll get away from here. Let me start by asking a question: who hasn't been here before? Okay, so the vast majority of you have. Okay, so that means I can shoot them one in a second. Innovation Birmingham. Some of you will have known it as Aston Science Park. It's one of the oldest science parks in the country. And as a science park, our interest is in promoting innovation and these days what is called the knowledge economy. Most of what we do is in the digital sector, but it's cross-sector. Right? We're not just interested in digital businesses per se, we're interested in the use of digital technologies and applying it to a smart and connected city. So that is our main driver. To promote innovation, there are two things that you need. One is ease of communication, and the easier it is to communicate, faster change happens. And the best way of doing that is to bring people together. So innovation is a contact sport. So these sort of events bring people together and hopefully stimulate good stuff. Of course, these days, that bringing together doesn't have to be a physical bringing together. We can also do it in a more virtual way through the connectivity across the fibres that link us to any part of the world in seconds. And so that sort of drives a slightly wider thought, and indeed from a point of view of the climate, that reduces the amount of travel. One would argue some of the projects we seem to spend a lot of time travelling. We're going to talk about the Climate KIC, and Kath is going to stand up in a minute and do that. But what I just wanted to do is also look at how what I've just described is going to morph into something that actually is quite certainly more closer to the true climate control programs that we want to see in the Climate KIC. You will have perhaps seen in the press that we have started at last the iCentrum building, which is a new building which is going to literally on the plot of land next door, and in fact the hoardings are all up. And by end of next month, early the month after, with it up, we'll start seeing some steel going up and we'll see a building. Within that building, there's going to be a new incubator, which we're calling Serendip. Serendip as in serendipity. The thinking behind that is bring different people together from different sectors and get them to exchange ideas and collaborate and come up with new opportunities. It's all about the smart city, and there are going to be 4 sectors within it. The first is smart mobility, the second is built environment, the third is Internet of Things, and the fourth is digital health. So those first 2 absolutely play to the Climate KIC programme. And I'm certainly hoping that as we move forward with the Climate KIC, we will be looking for projects that actually bring some of those euros to Birmingham, to this site, to help start-up businesses in those areas of smart mobility and built environment, especially in terms of the Climate KIC, to actually drive them forward. We will have corporate partners in each of those sectors. And all being well, in the next month or 2, we'll be announcing the first 2 corporate partners that will be there. Objective, come up with innovative ideas to address those sectors, to actually find new ways of doing it. But then bring those sector-specific people, both and the startups, and get them to rub shoulders with someone from a completely different sector, in the Internet of Things, in digital health. Final point, in terms of what that sort of thing drives, if you look at GSK, the biggest pharmaceutical company, or one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world, their biggest problem at the moment is data management, because they're sequencing all those genomes. And they don't understanding what's going on in that data is a real problem. You know where they turn to? The games industry. Because the games industry is busy taking ones and zeros and creating challenging games for us all to play. It's interpreting data. So if you start bringing sectors together, they start to overlap and they start to create innovative. So our objective then is to take all the climate games and around the control of CO2 emissions and a green city, a smart and connected city, and find how, by bringing people like yourselves together, along with those gamers, along with those people working on fridges that will talk to you, and actually come up with something new. And that is a way of creating innovation and a really strong knowledge economy. So that's what we're doing. The Climate KIC is part of that programme and integral to that programme. And because I'm now got to dash off to another green meeting that's going on in the city, I'll hand over to Kath and she'll talk to you about Climate KIC specifically. Thanks so much.
The West Midlands was the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, the explosion of technological innovation that changed our world. It was sparked by the Lunar Society, a group of people who came together from different backgrounds to learn, debate and innovate around the biggest challenges of the 18th century. They shaped our economy as we know it today. Innovation Birmingham's Climate KIC West Midlands project aims to shape the world's next economy, the low carbon economy. Welcome to our community. If you want to shape the green, smart economy of tomorrow, we want to hear from you. Okay, so that was our year last year, and we basically want to repeat the same but do better, do bigger, with you all this year. We couldn't do anything. We've got a big team now. When I started last year, there was like 3 of us, and now there's a few more, luckily. Otherwise I really would be crazy. So there's a team of us now, but we literally couldn't do anything without the community that we work with, and that includes KIC partners who know who they are, and also all the other people within our network like yourselves, helping us out by joining our programs. If you are startups or people with big ideas and aspirations for starting your own company, joining onto our entrepreneurship programs. If you are individuals working in the low carbon industry who could foresee doing a placement in another organisation to get that kind of contact that David was talking about. KIC is a contact sport. It's true. It is very exciting all the time and challenging some of the time. So we definitely are always on the lookout for low carbon professionals willing to do placements to create those contacts where innovation happens through our Pioneers programme. If you are organisations with room to host somebody in your organisation to come in with fresh eyes, look at what you're doing and find ways to help you progress your low carbon agenda as a company, be a host on the Pioneers programme, and in which case actually talk to Kate Martin. Is she in the building? Stand this person, please speak to her about that. If as I said, you're a startup or somebody with a big idea, please speak to Richard or Stephen. Wave in the room, thank you. And people interested in our education programs. We run professional short courses, we run tight, intense executive education courses that are sort of 8 to 10 days. We run postgraduate schools, all sorts of things. So please, in that case, speak to Ben and Andrew, who are now standing also. Anyway, so there's lots of different things that we do within the team. If you don't know what might suit you, then please speak to Suzanne, Stuart, John, me for maybe 5 minutes before I also run off, and Claire, who will all be able to point you in the right direction. There are many ways to get involved in Climate KIC. The next speaker, Siobhan Hill, has found at least 6 ways, and we'll talk you through, because we don't see being involved with Climate KIC as a one-off. It's not like you come on a short course and then we say see you later. You are part of the family at that point. We don't let you go. You are bound to us forever, and basically because we really want to help use KIC to enable you to progress the low carbon agenda. So Siobhan will now talk you through her experience since I didn't let her go. From the very first day when I said, don't you fancy this, to which was 5 years ago?
I was just going to
4
say
years
that,
ago.
You're ruining my opening. So
yeah, you can hear from her just the wealth of things there are to do in our community.
I'm going to try. So this is my annual. I have to get up and speak to earn my wine. So I will try to do very quickly to give you an overview of the wonderful and myriad of benefits from getting involved with the KIC, and specifically on some of those programmes. Obviously, it's a Tuesday evening, you'll want to get home at some point, so I'm not going to go into massive depth, but I will be about afterwards if anyone has any specific questions. 5 years ago, Catherine came to me and said, we're setting up this thing around low carbon, don't really know how it's going to work. We know we're going to work with other European countries, going to be a mix of academics, institutions, big businesses, small businesses. It's going to be tremendously exciting. Yeah. Brilliant. So got involved, and as Catherine quite rightly says, 5 years later, we're still involved, and been very, very lucky in that I've been able to participate as a pioneer. another pioneers into practice. We've been a company that's gone through the accelerator, and then we've subsequently been a host to other pioneers as well. We've also been involved in a KIC-funded project with other partners, which is slightly more elaborate. So the whole range of things. I'm going to try and summarise the benefit of each of those. So if you're sort of thinking, well, which one of these is for me, you can go, that's the one. So, pioneers. It's no exaggeration when I say that pioneers made me the professional I am. Accelerator, again, it's no exaggeration when I say the accelerator helped me develop my company to the thing it is now. And being a host, I think, has allowed us to continue as a business to link back to academics, to keep that tie between, you know, what's the right thing to do and what's actually happening on the ground. So they are quite distinct. Pioneers very much around personal development. If you are currently working within the low carbon arena or not, if you'd like to be, if you feel that you just work for somewhere where actually some change is needed and you're stuck trying to work out how you create that change, absolutely get involved with pioneers. In terms of developing the personal skills, the ability to look at sustainability problems from a different from multiple perspectives and solve them, and go and actually do something that makes a difference. I think there is nothing else that I'm aware of across Europe that does it in quite. Accelerator, a fantastic for a startup company. And I should probably say that when I got initially involved in this, I was working as a sole trader, single person, doing some contract work for a public sector client. We're now a business that employs staff. We work for a multitude of clients, both big and small, and across Europe. So it's not, in terms of the growth and how we've changed, it's quite, I can't think of another network or group that would allow us those opportunities. We worked for the last 2 years, we've been working with IBM as one of our partners. I mean, can you think of any, my other organisation or scheme that allows micro companies to work with a giant multinational like that? Not that I'm aware of. And definitely the accelerator in terms of creating, a supportive environment, the coaching, you're really fortunate here in Birmingham that you've got some fantastic accelerator coaches and mentors who have a wealth of experience themselves, as well as all the kind of free seminars and coaching and things that go on around supportive, and being around other businesses who are in the same space as you, who maybe you can collaborate with, maybe you can't, but actually understand what you're going through. They're living those hurdles too. Those things come together in quite a special way, and the fact that it's all sort of under the umbrella of Innovation Birmingham, as well. You've got those links back into, the city itself, as well as the wider KIC network. That's, in terms of, pushing that ball up a hill, as we all are with new businesses and innovations, it's quite a bit of a push behind you to help you get up to the top so that you can start free-falling and running down, and then you're just running and chasing and wondering if you can keep up, but that's the easy bit. Definitely, the only other thing I'd say is, for those of you maybe looking to host, it is an absolutely fantastic opportunity to get some incredibly skilled individuals into your business for free, on a very focused, short-term, project-specific way, get them to add some real value. I mean, we've done some things over the last 3 years that I would never have, as a business or as an individual, have been able to touch, because we just wouldn't have had the skills. So we've done things looking at the procurement of energy. We've done some high-level and detailed research around everything from hydrogen fuel cells, to building information modelling. So the range of what it's allowed us to attack and to explore and to innovate within, while still doing our business, is really quite remarkable. I'm conscious of everyone's time, so I was just going to stop there. Yeah? Good. Take my wine.
So Siobhan's obviously took the risk on me many years ago, and you know, if you take the risk, you get the rewards, I hope. So everyone's got a different story. There's lots of people in the room. Penny and Kenny can also vouch as they had their involvement last year. So there are different people in the room who can talk to you about their experiences. If you're interested in one of the programs in particular, ask one of the staff to point you to somebody that was doing it last year, and they can give you a very honest account of what's good, what's bad, what's ugly about being involved with Climate KIC. Siobhan was very lovely then and gave us a very solid review, but like with all things, it's up and down. Sometimes it's like I say, sometimes there are the challenges, and it can be relentless. You've got to have the energy to be involved in Climate KIC, and so far our community has absolutely given that to us, and we feed off it. So I hope you will find something tonight while you're having conversations and eating canapes and drinking wine and talking to each other that gives you the inspiration for your next innovation or your next activity in the space of advancing climate change and mitigation. So please do go back into the atrium, enjoy the rest of the evening, and make sure you take advantage of all the people in the room who have been there and done that. So thank you very much.